College of Journalism and Communications at the University of Florida, this is the Reptile Report.
Welcome to this edition of the Reptile Report. I'm Wade Ziegler. For students looking to enter the world of play-by-play and sports commentary, the Journalism School has a new offering, the Orange and Blue Sports Network. And it was largely the work of dedicated students getting it off the ground. Adam Edelin has more.
Bases loaded. First pitch, line drive, over the head of the third baseman Shulman, down the left field line. In to score Lawson, stripling around third, he's gonna score, and the throw goes to third base, not in time to get Sear. A two-run double for Ty Evans. It's his second of the series, and the Gators.
Play-by-play.
Get out the rye bread and the mustard!
Did we just see what we think we just saw? Oh, he broke his ankles!
An art form serving as a backbone for sports broadcasts. It's a difficult career field to get started in. One University of Florida student felt that struggle and decided his school needed a platform.
Hi, my name is Ethan Ibe. I'm a senior here at the University of Florida, and I'm the director of the Orange and Blue Sports Network.
The Orange and Blue Sports Network, a student-run radio and YouTube broadcast for Gator sports.
By the time that I got to the end of my sophomore year, I had been bothered enough by the fact that there was no way for anyone to listen to my work. Having ESPN Gainesville here and WRUF has been fantastic. It provides so many opportunities for students, but play-by-play and podcasting simply weren't one of them.
After long talks with professors and the dean of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, the Orange and Blue Sports Network was up and running in the spring of 2023. It didn't take long for OBSN to take off at UF.
I have had people reach out to me, I get at least one a week, I would say. Someone reaching out to me, either DMing the account on Instagram or DMing me, or somebody who's involved saying, hey, how do I get involved in this? How can I be a part of this?
One of those students is sophomore Lance Williams.
I came to UF because the great opportunities they had here. I saw ESPN Gainesville. The first month of school for my freshman year, there was a sports at CJC meeting where Ethan came and spoke in front of everyone and introduced the Orange and Blue Sports Network, the new home for student play-by-play. And after the meeting, I went up to him and I introduced myself and I said, hey, play-by-play is what I want to do, and if there's any opportunities, I'd love to get involved.
As the network grew, grander opportunities through university funding became possible.
I got an awesome opportunity to go out to Austin, Texas for Gator football versus the Longhorns. But going to Texas, calling that game with Ethan, getting to network with other broadcasters, both student broadcasters at Texas, and then getting to speak with guys like Joe Tessitore in the press box.
OBSN didn't just travel its broadcasters to other schools. The idea itself was sent nationwide as well.
That is probably the one thing I didn't see coming. That has been perhaps the biggest gift for me, besides being able to grow play-by-play interest here and seeing so many students involved. The chance to expand that to other schools, that I never saw coming. The two schools that have started programs after the Orange Blue Network began was Mississippi State and the University of Texas, both by people looking at what we were able to create. Unbelievable to see that other schools are trying to copy this model.
OBSN has given students pursuing play-by-play significant reps, an outlet to be heard, and an added drive they can take with them throughout their career.
I really didn't have much play-by-play experience before I was in OBSN. I'd done a lot of broadcast stuff with the Phillies single A team, but OBSN is really where I honed in my play-by-play skills.
Well, I have to mention it. The first base umpire, Anthony Perez, took a tumble running down the line. Lost his hat in the process, but that didn't distract Evans from making the play for out number. Being able to do play-by-play gives you, it makes you better in just about every single way. Like how writing is the backbone of broadcasting. If you're able to think on your feet and you can ad-lib and you can talk and you can carry a broadcast for 2 to 3 hours at a time, you're going to be fine in just about any setting. It's going to make you more confident.
With Ethan graduating this spring, he's confident the network will continue to grow in his absence.
It's up to people like me, my colleague Rob Russo, to try to step up and continue this awesome network that Ethan started.
I hope that 10 years from now, I'm able to look and see the Orange and Blue Network still thriving and growing, and that students are still broadcasting on these airwaves, whether it's back on YouTube, whether it's still on GHQ, whether that takes on a life of its own. This college is always evolving, it's always changing, so I have no doubt that this network will evolve with
Nobody
it.
left on here as we go to the last of the second. Ty Evans, Hayden Yost, Justin Nadeau due up when we come back. The score, Florida 3, Harvard 2. This is Gator Baseball on the Orange and Blue Sports Network.
For more than 3 decades, Gator fans at football games have been whipped into a cheering Orange and Blue chant by the Mic Man. The original Mic Man hung it up a couple years ago, giving way to a new generation. And now, a female has joined the club for football and women's events. Haley Hurst had a chance to chat with both of them and to bring you Mic Ma'am.
The Florida Gators game day experience wouldn't be complete without one tradition, Mic Man. Richard Johnson Jr. held the position for 31 seasons before passing it down in 2014 to UF students. With just 3 times to practice before Florida's 2024 home opener against Miami, this year's Mic Man sophomore Drew Hinkson made his debut.
I got the gig like a week before the first game, maybe like 8 days, and so there just wasn't much time there. My job is fortunately so much easier than like what the cheer team has to do and the Dazzlers have to do, and so like 3 times was enough for me to like figure out my role in it. Probably just stressed out by stuff I couldn't control. Like I was just worried the mic wasn't gonna work, and it didn't. But I mean, I guess fine. I don't get really intimidated talking in front of people. I get intimidated talking in like little amounts of people. I'd say I'm more scared right now. In high school, I was involved in student government, and with that, I was over pep rallies. And so, pep rallies, I would just go out there and hype people up, run it, introduce to the cheer team and the Dazzlers and whatnot. That was just kind of my role in high school. But I guess it definitely would play a role. It like shows why I would be prone to trying out.
This year, for the first time in UF history, Mic Man Drew Hinkson isn't doing it alone. As fans begin to enter the Stephen C. O'Connell Center for Gators Gymnastics, the first ever Gator Mic Man, junior Abigail Eckhart, awaits to lead the fans in its signature orange and blue chant.
So I have grown up in Gainesville. I'm from Gainesville. I've lived here my whole life. So I've kind of like grown up on campus, which has been super like unique experience. So I grew up watching all of the Gator events and seeing the Mic Man, and I thought it was so much fun. And then when I got into college and I kind of like figured out what it actually was, I was like, I would be amazing at that job. I don't know where my confidence came from, but like that's just, I wanted to do that. And when I saw the auditions were open and they were looking for someone, I was like, you know what, they should really have a girl.
Abigail made her debut at the Gators homecoming game October 19th.
I remember walking out onto the field and like, obviously growing up a Gator fan, like that is like peak for you. And I walked out and I looked around and like took it all in, and it was just insane. And we were really worried that the mics weren't going to work with both of us being on the field. Drew said his part, and then I went to go, and as soon as I heard my voice, to be completely honest, everything else in the world blacked. I don't remember anything else of my first time besides like running off the field and being like, did I say everything right? And everyone was like, you did so good and amazing. And I was up on the big screen, and like there's really no experience like it when you're out on the field and there's just literally 90,000 people yelling back at you.
For the spring season, Abigail tackles women's sports and Drew tackles men's. However, they share a tight bond working together.
So nice. Like, Abby is the most, like, so we're like completely 2 different people. She's type A, I'm type B. So I would say we complement each other very, very well in that sense. I've learned so much from her. I literally just told her this the other day.
He just like reminds me, it's okay to slow down and really enjoy what you're doing, because this is so fun and so cool, and like, we have a ton of fun together, and he gets me out of my comfort zone, and I love it. It's super fun working with him.
There's more to the pair than just being the voice of Gator Mics. Abigail is involved in Pre-Health Club Metagators, and Drew is the Assistant Director of Public Relations for the big event. But they also want people to know.
Anytime I see someone at a game or like outside of the game who like knows who I am, I guess, like I am so down to talk. Like I love that. That kind of stuff fires me up.
Honestly, same thing. I love when people say hi. I've been noticed like a few times, and I call it like getting spotted in the wild. And it's just like, it's so fun because you really get to like connect with people. I've been wanting to do this since I was so little. So like getting to do this, I do feel like a kid when I run out on the field, and like it's just so fun for me that that's why it makes it so rewarding.
Abigail has one message for the future Mike Mam.
Dream big. Like, honestly, you can do anything. If you see something that a guy is doing, like, go for it. Like, why not?
Cornelius Ingram is a Gator legend and a local hero. After his football career was derailed due to injuries, Ingram returned to his hometown of Hawthorne, less than 20 miles from Gainesville, to coach football and girls basketball at his old high school. His return has been nothing less than a total revitalization of the sports program at Hawthorne High School. Caroline King has more.
This is Hawthorne, Florida, a quiet town with a population of 1,500 just 16 miles east of the University of Florida, where one coach is changing the game for not just Hawthorne High School students, but for the community of Hawthorne as a whole.
Hello, I'm Cornelius Ingram, head girls basketball coach and also head football coach at Hawthorne High School.
However, let's rewind to where this began. Actually, let's rewind a little bit further to the very beginning.
I grew up here in Hawthorne, where I was a student athlete. I had an opportunity to play varsity sports early. So as a 7th grader, I moved up on varsity and had a lot of success. By the time I was in the 8th grade, I became a starter and was one of the key players on the team throughout the rest of my high school career.
Cornelius Ingram then committed to the University of Florida for football and proceeded to walk on for the basketball team in his freshman season.
I chose to go to the University of Florida where I wanted to play 2 sports, and I was able to do so. I had a great career at the University of Florida where I also won 2 SEC championships and 2 national championships. And through all my success there, I had an opportunity to go to the NFL, further my career. And my senior year at Florida, I actually tore my ACL. And my rookie year with the Eagles, I retore the same ACL.
After these injuries, Ingram headed home to his small town of Hawthorne, Florida, where he was asked by the principal to get into coaching.
Never thought about coaching. Even when our principal approached me with an idea, right away in my mind I was saying no, because previous year, I think it was maybe 14 to 15 guys on the football team. I don't know if they even won a game the year before. So it was a bad time to be here as a football player, or honestly as a coach as well. So job wasn't appealing or attractive at all. And I know for a fact the only reason I got into coaching was to help our school because of the D letter grade we received 2 consecutive years, and we were on the verge of being shut down. So just wanted to do something positive in my community.
Since taking over the head football coaching job for the football team in 2014 and for the girls basketball team in 2017, Ingram has won 5 state championships, 3 in girls basketball and 2 in football.
It's been quite an honor to coach in my hometown where I grew up. There's not a whole lot going on, so when we have success on the playing fields or on the courts, it means a lot to not only our student athletes, but our community as well. So I tell people all the time I have a dream job where I have an opportunity to help shape young people's lives throughout athletics, and they've been able to have one amazing run with winning these state championships just to boost the morale of the school, the morale in the community, and it's been extremely fun.
For Ingram, it's much more than coaching and championships. Ingram has been able to coach both of his sons, CJ and Kyler. CJ recently committed to the University of Florida for basketball. Through his success, Ingram has been sought out by multiple programs. However, his heart stays with Hawthorne.
It's home, and wow, without getting emotional, this has probably been going on for the last 6 or 7 years, where I've had college job offers. I've had every high school job offer, whether it was in the state of Florida, or Texas, or Georgia. This is home because, a lot of my kids, might not play football or basketball ever again after high school. Sometimes this is all they have, or the most positive influence they've had. You wouldn't believe, some of these stories that I have to encounter on a day-to-day basis. I would tell myself all the time, well, man, such and such just said this person walked out of their lives. And I'm the most important thing in their life right now. It's like, I can't leave now. I can't go anywhere now. And, when you're somewhere and you've created that kind of bond and relationship with players, it's way deeper than a win. It is way deeper than a state championship. And Lord knows I love to win, but to see a kid light up because I showed up to something outside of that particular sport that they play for me, like that's what it's about. But a lot of these kids have already won in life just by some of the things they've had to face in battle. And man, I couldn't imagine going through that when I was 14, 15, 16, 17. And some of these kids have went through some incredible stories that I couldn't imagine, and for them to still show up. I've had players lose relatives. I've had players lose their dads during the course of the season and won't miss practice because they want to be around myself and this coaching staff and their teammates. That's the kind of environment we have here. We're hands-on. We really care about our kids outside of whatever sport they're playing.
Ingram has created a legacy here in Hawthorne and continues to make his mark year after year.
Fencing as a sport is centuries old. And despite the U.S. having success at the international stage in the recent Paris Olympics, fencing remains obscure to many Americans. Here at UF, the Fencing Club is looking to change that. I had a chance to spend some time with them and learn more. The University of Florida Student Recreation Center, known for its workout facilities and as a premier place for pickup basketball on campus. The center is also home to over 40 different teams. One of the largest, the University of Florida fencing team. The team is one of the larger ones on campus with over 50 active members. If you've never heard of fencing before, you would not be alone. Despite the U.S. securing a tie for first in the gold medal count with 2 medals in the 2024 Summer Olympics in the sport, very few Americans are involved with the sport. According to the Academy of Fencing Masters, access can be limited in portions of the country, with states such as Wyoming, Delaware, and Wisconsin having just a single fencing club located in the entire state. Fencing is one of the oldest sports in the world, with its roots being traced back to ancient Egypt 3,000 years ago. The modern game of fencing was established in the 16th century by 3 master swordsmen in Italy, Filippo Vadi, Achille Morozzo, and Ridolfo Capofetto. The sport gained popularity among noblemen in Europe, starting in France under King Louis XIV, who required nobility to train in swordsplay during the 17th century. The 3 founders of the modern game established the 3 forms of fencing practiced today around the world: épée, foil, and saber. Each weapon has great differences from one another, with different rules applied to each form of competition.
There's 3 different weapons. There's foil, épée, and saber. So I chose the épée, which is the one I have right here. It's the heaviest, and it's got the thickest blade. As you can see, there's a wire running down the middle, and at the end there's a button. It takes about 750 grams to push this button, and once this button is pushed, electrical currents go down and signal that you've gotten a touch. And I don't know, it just felt right in my hand. The foil felt really light. The cool thing about épée is that everywhere on your body is a target area, so you have to use strategy, you have to use your physical, prowess, and it's a lot of fun.
That was Talia Rhoda, a senior at the University of Florida. Rhoda is the club president of UF Fencing and serves as its official leader. Rhoda is a member of the épée team, competing in the weapon class for the university. Despite Rhoda having an athletic background growing up, she had never fenced before coming to the University of Florida.
To be honest, when I was younger, I really liked the movie The Princess Bride, and I always wanted to be Wesley. I dressed up as him during my 8th grade Halloween, and I thought that was fantastic. So when I was, I think, a freshman in college, I was walking around. There's something called Extravaganza, hosted by Rec Sports, and fencing was tabling. And back then, I had pink hair, and the person tabling also had pink hair. And so I was like, okay, this is destiny.
Many athletic teams on campus see their athletes continue sports they had competed in since they were kids. The fencing team bucks this trend. One of the newer members of the fencing team, Sean Gleason, was in the same boat as Rhoda, deciding to take a chance on a new thing.
This is kind of like where it really started for me, like really trying to build myself up from the ground. So I saw like in Turlington someone like handing out flyers, and I recognized kind of like the gear he was in. I'm like, I'm very interested, I'm going to sign up and haven't looked back.
The team is no pushover, though. Despite the vast number of members with no previous experiences, in competitions, the team is getting results. In last spring's Southwest Invitational hosted in San Antonio, Texas, Florida finished in 4th place as a team. Florida entered as the lone independent team in the conference tournament. Florida beat multiple established squads, such as UTSA and North Texas. The team's wide range of experiences includes some with a lengthy experience in the sport of fencing. Take Manuel Manny Reyes, a fencer for over a decade. Reyes is featured at some of the highest levels of youth fencing, finishing 2nd at the Pan American Games for Team Puerto Rico at the age of 10. Today, as a member of the U.S. fencing team, he competes with the team as well as in international tournaments for Puerto Rico.
A lot. I mean, we have so much talent in Florida. I mean, in the club in general, we spoke previously how we have people who fence for Canada internationally right now. And then we also have a Puerto Rican fencer who is A-rated. For those who don't know, A-rating is the highest possible rating you can get in the U.S. And he's also fencing Puerto Rico. He's fencing in Paraguay right now. And then also the Canadian Daniel Tiagi, he's in Sabre for Canada. So we have a lot of talent. Also Coach Julio, he used to coach for the Paralympic USA team. And on top of that, UF is a top 5 school, you know, like you don't expect this kind of behavior towards the sport with any college, especially Florida, you know, we're giants when it comes to the South.
With such a large melting pot of a team, with a variety of members' backgrounds and experiences being different, what brings the team together? In short, the team is one large family.
Collaboration, teamwork. I guess a lot of it's like new experiences, I'd say.
I think it was the personalities that were drawn to this. I think I just blended very well because like with the different sports I've joined, like I've loved all my teams and they've always been different dynamics. Something about this club has just felt like home. It's felt like all the people here are very kind, very understanding, and they're still competitive and they want the best, but they also want the best for you as a person, which is awesome.
The family atmosphere was infectious in practice, with members laughing throughout and showing the respect traditionally shown in the sport. Members celebrated each other's triumphs. The infectious teamwork even spilled over into competitions, with team members celebrating each other's success. While on paper, the fencing team may look a lot like the over 40 teams housed at the University of Florida's Recreation Center, the team really is one big happy family. Wade Ziegler, Reptile Report. For UF senior Gia Johnson, ultimate frisbee has been a passion that has led to setbacks and triumphs. Kennedy Lerner profiles this athlete and her journey.
This is Gia Johnson, a 5th-year senior playing club ultimate frisbee at the University of Florida. In 5 years, Gia Johnson has accomplished things most have not, including being invited to U24 Ultimate Frisbee National Tryouts.
I started playing, I guess, when I was in high school, so it was in my hometown in Sarasota. And then when I went to college, I went to Boston University, and I knew that I wanted to be involved in a different sport. I played tennis throughout high school and during my junior time. And then I decided to play Ultimate, and I joined the team in Boston. And it was a really great experience, and I really fell in love with the sport.
As Johnson has grown within the sport, she's encountered several challenges, most prominently concussions.
I got a few concussions last year 2 years ago now, during the fall semester in college. and they spooked me, and I had to go to the ER and get checked out and see a couple doctors. And I was just really nervous about coming back to the sport and continuing to play. But I ended up getting a concussion band, which definitely helped. And the sport like Frisbee being so inclusive, it definitely helped people be aware of my condition and play against me still very, very competitively, but not as physically. And so that really helped me get back into the sport.
Hell yeah.
Even though Johnson has experienced these setbacks, her leadership on and off the field is valued by her teammates.
Gia has taught me a lot being a rookie. I honestly didn't know much coming into the sport, and Gia's like my mother, and she teaches me everything.
Gia has really just led this team and has been someone that I can look up to daily, and I aspire to be in the real world and in the Frisbee world.
Gia Johnson has been playing Frisbee for 5 years and has made it her goal to help expand the Frisbee community by teaching people like me how to play. Sorry, you were...
Gia continues to be a role model to all players and community members as she helps the team work towards their goal of making it to nationals.
Let's focus in. Let's really dial in this game, guys. We got it.
But her why isn't solely about the victories.
I just love Frisbee. I love the sport. A lot of my close friends have really helped me and made me feel more confident on the field and as an individual. And I feel like that's just not really a community you can walk away from.
A new running community has sprouted up in Gainesville, the Rise and Run Club. They combine running, community, and local businesses as they have quickly added to their numbers. Eaton Ohana got up early and joined in on the fun.
I realized Gainesville doesn't have anything like this.
This is Gainesville's hottest new community gathering, the Rise and Run Club. Co-founded in 2024 by Chris Khalil and Cameron Hogan, the idea was born out of a blend of the two's prior experiences. For Khalil, it was the impact that a different run club had on him.
I'm originally from Tampa, so I joined the run club in Tampa last summer, and I fell in love with it. I met amazing people. I met some of my mentors, some of my best friends, best connections. It's just like every possible thing that you can think of and every possible person that you can think of, I met in that run club.
Connections are important to this club story because it was through a meeting at the gym that Khalil and Hogan formed a friendship that led to them working together.
So me and Chris go way back. I actually met him in the gym. We hit a workout together, and then we both super bodybuilders, never ran a day in our life. And then one day I see on Instagram everybody's running, and I'm just like, should I hop on the wave? And then Chris, I heard that Chris was trying to start a run club, and I was like, man, I kind of want to start one too. So I reached out to him and said, like, hey, how about we start one together? He's like, yeah, bro, I'll be down. So that's just history from there.
Growth came quick, and with it, the impact that the two never imagined they'd have.
Seeing it grow from 10-ish people, like an average of 10 people every run in the fall, to now almost 40 people in a span of less than a year. To us, that has been a huge blessing. And seeing the people come out and how we are affecting them and making them better. One of the girls that comes out to our run club, she texted me. She flew out to Puerto Rico to run a race and then came back all in a span of 24 hours. And she was like, if I didn't join Rise and Run, none of this would be happening.
Hogan, through his other endeavors, was able to inspire people as well.
So I'm a personal trainer. I have a gym in Gainesville. It's like a small gym unit, so I do one-on-one coaching. I've seen there's a big benefit into running, also on top of working out. I'm teaching my clients to start running and everything like that. So not only that, I'm training my clients, half of them are pulling up to the run clubs and getting an extra aspect too.
The growth of the community allowed for the growth of the club as a business as well. One of the run staples are the collaborations with local businesses.
The local businesses were kind of our thing since the first run. That idea, I'll give credit to the Tampa Run Club. I stole that idea from them because I loved how it was. So Saturday mornings, they would team up with a local coffee shop, which is why here Wednesday mornings we do the same.
One of the coffee shops he reached out to is Concord Coffee.
I was like, hey, we're starting a run club here. We're trying to build a community. Would you be interested in getting involved with us? We kind of bring you customers early on in the day, and then in exchange, we kind of get a 10-15% off discount.
The past few months, the pair have worked on creating merchandise for the club.
The merchandise came this semester, actually beginning of the year. At first, we were trying to find someone who could print them for us, but we thought it'd be a better idea since Kim has access to an actual presser. So it would be a better idea for us to just press them ourselves, kind of, one, give us a better feeling for how involved we actually are with this community. And then two, it was also nice because we were able to create content out of it.
But now that they're here, what do the two hope the next step is for the family they've built?
It's only a growing trend. Everyone's starting to like it a lot more. We've only mainly gotten positive feedback from our runs and from the members that have come out. And we continue to see new faces every single run. So I really do hope that this continues to grow.
I mean, goal is like we had 40 people the other day. The goal is to have 100, 200 each time they pop out every Sunday and Wednesday.
For now, the future just means the next run on the calendar.
That's it for this edition of Reptile Report. I'm Wade Ziegler, and remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch future episodes.